7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everyone. It's Friday the 28th of October. It's Mike in for Jamie. It's International Animation Day, and a very happy birthday to Bill Gates, Julia Roberts, Frank Ocean, and Matt Smith. Thursday saw the United Nations release its annual emissions gap report, and let's just say things are not looking great. The yearly assessment, which tracks progress towards limiting global warming to the 1.5-degree Paris Agreement target, found that systemic change in the way we eat, travel and invest is urgently needed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to safe levels. Speaking after the release of the report, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres warned that without immediate action, we could be heading for disaster.
Under current policies, the world is headed for 2.8 degrees of global heating by the end of the century. In other words, we are headed for a global catastrophe.
And despite new PM Rishi Sunak having promised to prioritise the environment earlier this week, Downing Street confirmed on Thursday he will not attend next month's COP27 climate summit in Egypt due to domestic commitments. It all comes as energy giant Shell reported global profits of more than £25 billion. But not to worry, Tory party chairman Nadine Zahawi says an expanded windfall tax isn't needed if they reinvest. So that's all right then.
The important thing actually is to make sure those companies are investing in gas assets in the North Sea. This year we've seen a 26% increase in our gas output. That's a good thing because we're less reliant on Putin's gas.
Newly reappointed Home Secretary Sawella Braverman looked perilously close to breaking her own record for the shortest amount of time spent in the post on Thursday, as calls intensified for an investigation into the circumstances regarding her resignation last week. She stepped down after breaking the ministerial code by sending a sensitive government document to fellow MP Sir John Hayes via a personal email address and then accidentally copying in a staffer whom she thought was his wife. Oh dear. And Shadow Foreign Secretary David Lammy doesn't seem to think she's going to last that long.
I suspect that Sawella Braverman her position is now looking very, very fragile indeed.
Fortunately for Sawella, Civil Service Chief Simon Case confirmed on Thursday that he won't be conducting any investigations into her reappointment. And she has the backing of Tory party chairman Nadine Zahawi, so there's nothing to see here.
The new Prime Minister came in, looked at the detail, and I think has decided to give her a second chance. And I believe in second chances. I believe in redemption.
Russian President Vladimir Putin denied on Thursday he would conduct a nuclear attack on Ukraine, claiming any veiled threats of atomic warfare were prompted by Western leaders.
Let's just say that the West, in recent years, and especially in recent months, has taken a number of steps to aggravate us. Well, in fact, they always play to exacerbate things. This is nothing new. They are inciting war in Ukraine.
His claims that nuclear action is not on the table came less than 24 hours after he oversaw routine nuclear exercises thought to mimic a retaliatory strike. But the president's statement was echoed by the Russian ambassador to the UK, Andrei Kenlin.
Russia is not going to use nukes, so it is out of the question.
Northern Ireland is set to face another election after last-ditch efforts to form a government within the required 6-month timeframe failed on Thursday. The Democratic Unionist Party has boycotted Stormont since the election in May in protest over the post-Brexit Northern Ireland Protocol, which it says threatens the region's British status. Sinn Féin Vice President Michelle O'Neill says DUP leader Sir Geoffrey Donaldson and his party must be held to account.
Geoffrey Donaldson and the DUP are in a perpetual standoff with the public, the majority of whom they do not speak for or indeed represent. He stood for election, yet failed to show up. This is his mess and a failure of leadership by him and his party.
But Sir Geoffrey says the protocol is to blame for the chaos.
We want a Stormont that is based on firm foundations. To do that, we need to remove the rubble of the protocol that has undermined our economy, that has inhibited our ability to trade within our own country, that has changed our constitutional status without our consent.
Still to come on the Smart 7, disappointment for the Gunners in Europe, and Black Panther makes its return.
Right after this. Welcome back.
3
Thursday night saw Europa League action with Manchester United at home and Arsenal on the road. United brought back troublesome veteran Ronaldo to face Sheriff. That's the mighty Sheriff Tiraspol, currently top of the Moldovan Super League. In the end, it was easy enough for United with a 3-0 win, which sees them through to the knockout rounds. The Gunners, though, were in Holland to take on PSV Eindhoven in an early kick-off, and it didn't go well. A 2-0 loss for Arsenal sees them drop their first points of the group stage and leaves them with work to do in the final group game to avoid a playoff. Manager Mikel Arteta wasn't pulling any punches after the game.
The better team won. Very simple. I think they deserved to win the match. They were better. They were much more committed than us in a lot of basics that are very relevant to win a full match, and that's it.
Wednesday night saw the stars of Black Panther gather on the red carpet for the world premiere of Wakanda Forever, the second film in Marvel's record-breaking franchise. Speaking ahead of the premiere, leading lady Letitia Wright explained why she thinks the film is so important.
Black women are being empowered. Black women are being celebrated for all their beauty, for their intelligence and all that they are. So, November 11th, big things.
Several of the cast paid tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman with their outfits, including Letitia, whose suit mirrored the one worn by the former Black Panther at the 2018 Oscars. Meanwhile, actor Lupita Nyong'o said she was relieved to be able to bring her grief for Chadwick into the film.
I was like, oh, phew, we don't have to pretend like we are not in grief, you know. We get to use our grief and we get to just add juice to Chadwick's legacy.
So David Attenborough fans, get ready. The BBC has just released a short film detailing the history of their Natural History Unit, the department which produces nature documentaries like Planet Earth and The Blue Planet, and it's voiced by the legend himself. The film's been created as part of the BBC's 100th birthday celebrations and premiered on The One Show earlier this week, so you better catch up because it is simply charming.
Advances in technology mean that the way we record those stories of life on Earth has changed significantly. But what hasn't changed is the dedication of the programme makers and the enthusiasm that viewers have for connecting with nature.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day. Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.